Hi, I'm Jen Spencer, and this is Jen Spencer's 10-Minute Book Club. Hi, readers. Happy spring. I'm finally feeling it in the air. I hope you are too. We have a great interview today. We're interviewing Jess Heileman, who is a new author. She's got 3 books out, and the book that we're going to be talking about today is called The Nabob's Daughter, and it sounds delightful. If you ask a question or make a comment in the comment section below, you will automatically be entered to win a copy of Jess Heileman's book, The Nabob's Daughter, and a copy of my book, Dandelion Meadows. I know you're going to love both of them. So now I'm so excited to introduce Jess Heileman. Jess, thank you so much for being here today.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I am so excited. I got your name from another author and I don't know anything about you. And so I was so excited when you said yes. I love hearing about and meeting new authors. So tell us about yourself.
Okay, I am a mom to 5 little, well, they're not so little anymore. My oldest is 14. Oh my gosh. We live in Arizona. I have the greatest husband in the world, probably except for yours, because I'm sure you think that too.
He is so great. Okay, hold on. I'm hearing some beeping.
Yes, my fire alarm is going off. Should I check on that?
Yes, we can wait.
Okay, my husband is on it. He's trying to get it to stop. They're all making pancakes downstairs. He's like, I'm so sorry. And like, yeah, no, that's fine. I'm like, can you please get that to stop?
I love, hearing as you're coming in. Don't come in here for a minute.
I'm like, my little girl's like, Mom, can you help me pick out my dress? I'm like, no, just don't come in here for a minute. Just go have Daddy help you. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think you got it.
You did.
Oh,
Okay, so you were just telling me what a great guy your husband is. So sounds like he's making pancakes.
Yes. Well, the kids are making them. He's supervising, so that's probably why the fire alarm went.
Anyway, so you have your husband, you have 5 kids, and the oldest is 14. How old's the youngest?
I have twins that are 6.
Oh, so, wow.
Yes. So it's a big fun circus here.
So fun.
So fun. So fun. Yes.
Well, I don't know how you write. I really started my career in earnest when my youngest child went to school. And I guess they're all in school now, your kids, but with little kids, it's hard.
It is hard. My husband, like I mentioned, he's pretty great. So he gives me a lot of writing time, but yeah, we're homeschooling right now. So it's kind of like this fun balance of like, okay, school starts, one of my kids is in regular school. And so I bring him, and then 8 o'clock, I'm like, hey, come on, we're going. Because then I try to get all the lessons done by noon. So then they have like their independent stuff from then on. And I can write from noon until 3:30 when we pick up my twins from a different school. Anyway, it's a fun chaos.
It sounds like it.
So grammar is not my strong point when it comes to being a writer. I will be 100% honest. Like, I love the storytelling aspect. I love dialogue. And then I pay good money to have my editors teach me grammar, right? So like I'm doing these the coursework with my little kids. I'm like, oh my heavens, that's what that is. Starting to click. I'm glad I'm doing 4th and 6th grade grammar right now so that these lessons can finally click. So it's good for me too.
Oh, that's true. That is really good.
Yeah.
So tell me how you got into writing and what your career path has looked like so far.
Yes, I am definitely, I saw the interview with Esther and I feel like I'm more like Esther. Like I did not start writing young. I did I feel like I peaked in kinder. I got an award for a book called Tits and Wigs. And it was like, I'm like, okay, that's it. There's my whole career. So I never really wrote much or anything, but when I actually went and backpacked Europe, and sorry, when I was there, I went to the Roman Forum, and they were talking about all this stuff at the Roman Forum, and I was like, all of a sudden these ideas started coming to my head. I'm like, this would be a great story. And so then I got home and I was like, I'm gonna try to write this story. And so I started, and then I ended up getting married, and then I had babies, and then it like just kind of like got pushed aside. And every 5 months I'd pull it out and work on it for like an hour or two, and it just didn't come together. But then I a few 3-4 years ago, I read a Regency, and I besides like Jane Austen, like I really didn't realize there was a genre for this.
Really?
And I grew up loving Jane Austen. And so I read a modern Regency, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a thing. Like, I didn't even know. So I got really excited, and I'm like, Tim, I want to try to write this, because I felt like the Roman, it's so historical, and trying to like modernize it, but still make it like historically accurate was a tricky thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, everyone knows Regency. And so I ended up being like, can I please just try to write a book? And he was like, hey, I will clean up, I'll do dinner and clean it up every night and put the kids to bed until you're done with your book. And so that's kind of how it started. And I was
what a guy.
I know, it was really great. And I was able to write my first book in just under a month. And I was like, oh my heavens, like, look at me, I just read a book. I mean, none of my other books have come that easily. Like, I wish it came that fast still, but they don't. But I feel like once I knew I could do it, then I was like, this is so great. This is so fun. And I loved it so much. And I actually have anxiety pretty bad. And it helps me cope with anxiety, because instead of allowing my mind to go to places like, I'm amazing at like going to a store and being like, okay, this is what's going to happen here. Some person's going to come in, and I'm going to have to hide my kids, right? Like all these like awful, horrible things. But now I can fill my head with stories that I'm working on and writing, instead of allowing my mind to go down that vicious, anxious cycle. And so it's actually been really healing for me also. So I'm in a pretty good spot right now. And I feel like it's, writing has helped it so much. So
that's amazing.
It's a blessing.
So tell us about this book that you're going to be giving away. Is this your latest book?
This is my latest book. It's The Nabob's Daughter. It is a story of a girl. So a nabob is like basically a really wealthy person, like in India or the Caribbean, wherever they were at this time, and they would make a lot of money there. And then they would kind of come back to England and try to marry their children into the aristocracy, because they wanted those connections as well. So we first hear Nabob in Aladdin.
Aladdin, I was going to say.
Songs, right?
Yep.
That's where most people know it from. But yes, so it's just a story. She is in India. She loves India so much, and she doesn't realize that her father has kind of been training her to basically get her married, sell her off, is how she sees it, to a rich aristocrat, a titled gentleman back in England. And so he sends her there, and she is like determined beyond determined to get them to call off the whole thing, because her father was like, if you ruin this kind of thing, like saying like, if you refuse to do this, I will disown you. And she's kind of like, okay, well then I'll get them to say that they don't want this. And then because she's very like, her father's very business oriented, and she's very business oriented as well. And so she like finds this way to be like, I could mean it this way, So she goes and she just puts on this whole charade. Like, it is, sometimes writing it, I was like, I am like mortified for you right now, Anora. Like, how are you doing this? Like, I mean, a voice, like just like ridiculous. Like everything she's learned, she basically does the opposite of. And then right in the not long after she gets there, the love interest, his name's Graham, realizes what she's about, and so they kind of team up because he doesn't want the marriage either, and doesn't want her to be trapped in a marriage. And so he's like, let's team up and do this together. And so it's kind of them going together, trying to break off this engagement, and then slowly, obviously, they are falling in love.
Oh, that is a great plot. I love that.
Oh, it was fun.
What do you like to binge watch?
Oh heavens, I am a huge fan of period dramas. So I would say I don't often rewatch many things. So like once I've seen it, it's like I've seen it, except for I will say Poldark. I have watched that a few times.
Have you? You've watched
that.
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
I love that one too.
That's a good one. So I definitely say that's like, if I'm like, oh, I don't know anything to watch, then I will pull up a Poldark. So it's kind of my jam.
Oh, that Aidan Quinn. Oh, he is so good looking. I first saw him in The Hobbit.
The Hobbit. He's Keely. Yes.
Yes, and it's like, wow, he's a whatever he is, a dwarf, but wow, he's good looking.
He is definitely the best looking of those dwarves.
Yes.
But I will say every once in a while in Poldark, all of a sudden I'll see Keely in him. I'm like, no, come back, Poldark, come back. Like, I don't want to see Keely right now. I love Keely, but I want Poldark.
That's great. Okay, so here's the last question. You're stuck on a desert island, and you can either have a lifetime supply of chocolate or toilet paper. Which do you choose?
Oh, heavens. I feel like, well, that's really hard. I feel like I would go for the chocolate just because I'm like, I don't know, there's like alternatives to toilet paper, right? On a desert island. Or there's water, or I'm like, chocolate would be hard to come by. And it could be life sustaining. I'm like thinking, can you die from eating too much chocolate? Like if you lived on a diet of chocolate, I'm like, I think I'd be willing to try. I feel like it's very, very much kind of the diet I live on right now. I consume dark chocolate chips, handfuls of them.
Oh, really?
All the time. That's kind of my go-to treat.
You'd probably have a major sugar high, like permanently, but I know you could live off chocolate. I just know it. I'm sure.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, it has all the good stuff in it, right? All those antioxidants. Every time I grab a handful, I'm like, look at how healthy I'm eating right now.
You tell yourself that. That is good.
Exactly.
Oh, well, Jess, it's been so fun to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Readers, remember, if you comment or ask a question in the comment section below, you'll automatically be entered to win a copy of The Nabob's Daughter, which sounds so delightful, and one of my books, Dandelion Meadows, which is also a really fun romantic comedy. Jess, thank you so much. It's been so great to talk to you.
Having me. It's been so fun.